2 squads. One goal: win the national championship. From the Tony Award-winning creators of In the Heights, Next to Normal, and Avenue Q, the all-new original musical comedy Bring It On the Musical.
The moment the entire cheerleading world has been waiting for is finally here. The premiere of Bring It On the Musical on Broadway. Oh my God, this is happening. It's so different from tour. It's a dream come true for me.
Cheerleaders who see the show say, oh my God, that's my life.
Whether you're 5 years old or 60 years old, everyone just really loves the show.
The energy outside the St. James Theater is infectious as the crowd anxiously awaits cheerleading's big break on the biggest stage in the world. This night marks the end of a national tour across the country and the beginning of what all are hoping to be a long and successful run on Broadway. Varsity has been with the show since the beginning, when choreographer Andy Blankenbuehler traveled to Memphis for the cheer development workshop with the UCA staff. Together, they designed partner stunts and pyramids that could add a visual element to the show never before seen in the theater. The result, a high-spirited, high-energy musical comedy that will thrill both the cheer world and theater goers alike.
We're gonna leave behind the world we know.
How did you get into the mindset of the cheerleading world?
We actually watched a ton of varsity competitions. We watched a lot of national competitions. We went to exhibitions and just, immersed ourselves in that world. And then, whenever anything was in doubt, I would just go to Lauren Witt and ask her questions.
I would have never thought that I would be here on Broadway. I mean, when I was here at that cheer development in Memphis, it was just something that I was doing with UCA staff, and then Andy Blankenbuehler, our director, told us about it, and he asked us if we wanted to do auditions.
When I first got there, I didn't even know that this was going to happen. And then at the end of the 3-day process when we were in Memphis, they asked us to audition. So from there, just one after another, from Atlanta to the tour to Broadway now, it's incredible.
2 years later, here I am.
From the very beginning, we started to get into the nuts and bolts of what we wanted to say and the nuts and bolts of how to bring this exciting sport of cheerleading to the stage. So early on, we were able, I think, to find some really dynamic physical feats. And what we had to do along the journey was make sure we were telling a human, emotional story that was as dynamic as the amazing tumbling and stunting that we're doing on stage.
This is a show about, on one level, teamwork, but below that, what that really means and what people give to each other and do for each other to create that. And that's something the varsity community just knows. And they gave it to us, and we're so grateful.
Slow motion down the hall.
You know what? UCA background has helped me guide them into the right way of being the best cheerleaders they can be.
It's been about 2 years we've been working on it, so now we're have our acting roots and our singing. We got it down. It's almost like second nature.
Tommy, were you ever a cheerleader or were you a dancer?
I'm a dancer. I was never a cheerleader, but I did get some cheerleading experience on our show. We had a cheerleader dance, and that was really cool.
I actually was like a school mascot, for just maybe a month.
I was never a cheerleader, but I was the choreographer of the Papa High School Pom Pom Squad.
Where was that?
Papa High School in Papa, Michigan, southwestern Michigan.
I never was a cheerleader, but now I have a newfound love and appreciation for cheerleading. It's quite a sport, and I'm really in awe and admiration for these athletes.
I grew up in Manhattan, so cheerleading was not in my world at all. So I really was introduced to it when I started working on Bring It On. The first cheerleader I met, who was Jessica Colombo, just meeting her and seeing them in action, I immediately knew I knew nothing about cheerleading, and I had a lot to learn and a lot to admire.
The cheerleaders in the show, just watching them every night has really taught me a lot. They're fearless and they do an amazing job.
Getting to watch these champions do what they do 8 times a week, it's mind-blowing to me. The stamina that it takes, the concentration, the focus, and the dedication that they all have, it's really astounding, and I have such a respect for what they do.
It's great to see them fuse the two sort of dance forms together for the summer audiences and stuff. I think it's going to be great.
Being around these girls has just inspired me enough. All of these cheerleaders are absolutely amazing, and I think just being with the show so long has really, upped the ante, and
got my sharp motions, my tight stunts. You know, I just always watching them, which is amazing because they're so talented.
We work as a team. We say teamwork makes the dream work, and Bring It On, because we need each and every person to make this show happen every single night. It's not just about the singers, it's not just about the dancers, it's not just about the actors. It's really about those stunts, and it's about making this a story that everyone will always remember, and really an event that's great for the eye and great for the heart.
I'm in, 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 I'm in. We can leave behind the world we know.
And those lyrics, imagine the lights. I mean, this is 30 debuts on Broadway. This is a real dream come true.
It's absolutely crazy. I mean, it keeps going, kind of snowballs now. So everything just keeps building and building and building into the big finale, which I'm not going to spoil, but you'll see it tonight.
Hey, all you cheerleaders, we want to see you at Bring It On, the musical.
Cheerleader like the Buccaneers in front of me. So I stumbled till I tumbled and I made a team. Now my life is every adolescent's favorite dream. Slow motion down the hall as kids all stop and stare. I'm putting on my captain pants for the first time. And if I ever fall, I know my squad is there. Cause I've got the Buccaneers here behind me.
He changed my life around when he said, right now everything seems so important, but time rushes by at a clip. And when you look back, these high school years will be nothing more than a blip. So, might as well enjoy the trip. We know who we are unless we cross that line.
I suffer from mentalness too. For you, it's this one key move. It feels like a mountain to climb.
On a French kiss with tongue like I dreamed I do. And not just with my pillow, but with you. No,
you got the spirit now, girl, dang.
Look at all the joy you bring.
cheerleader like the Buccaneers in front of me. So I stumbled till I tumbled and I made a team. Now my life is every adolescent's favorite treat. Slow motion down the hall, as kids toss up and stare. I'm putting on my captain pants for the first time. And if I ever fall, I know my squad is there. Cause I've got the Buccaneers here behind.
Hi, I'm Stage and Screen's Lin-Manuel Miranda. The assignment was we were writing this song called Friday Night Jackson, and we wanted to sort of write it together, and it was a lot of characters meeting for the first time, and basically we gathered around, and it takes place at this big party. It's sort of this big rah-rah party where this dance crew is going to perform, and Campbell is performing sort of in a test scenario for the first time in a mascot outfit. And so we got together and just sort of said, let's try a chord progression first, and let's sort of agree on something that's a little scary and a little exciting that we can both kind of mess around with. And so I came in with D to F sharp, and I wanted to keep it really simple. Just very nice, very evocative, and then there's it's big dance party, and then we introduce Campbell, and she starts dancing, and then Randall falls in love with her, and then I'll let Tom take over.
So Lynn had brought in this incredibly infectious and bouncy, and I knew that we had to drop into this romantic, sort of stylized moment, soft moment. I wanted to keep Lynn's progression, so I just started playing around with. And sort of came with a melody like, look at her dancing with skill and with joy, even dressed like a strange and deranged Irish boy. It's so plain to see. And then sort of started progressing from there and wrote a chorus with Amanda, and then at the end of this and then we kicked back into Lynn. So everything sort of came, I think we're always just copying West Side Story. But but that's the thing, all the elements, everyone at this football game starts to sing. And, yeah, exactly. So that was an early on score for us to get in the room and to feed off each other and weave themes through that we were coming up with. There's a lot of explaining to do about why he's saying that.
Come see the show.
Come see the show.